because I woke up at 8 and fed the cats and I felt fine, but then I guess I slept for another 4 hours. But yeah, I shouldn't have gone to the bathroom because I forgot some of the parts of the dream, but I can't remember how this ended up happening, but somebody that I knew in the dream, like, bought Michael Jackson's childhood house, which doesn't make any sense. And I don't even know what his childhood house is. I was just told in the dream that's what it is. And it was a really tiny house. And then, like, my aunt in the dream, someone knocked her out because...
You want a hash brown?
Sure, that sounds good. Someone...
You just want the toasted hot dog buns plain, or did you want butter on it? Or do you want to do it yourself or something?
I'll just have it plain. Thanks. Oh. Someone knocked out my aunt, whoever, I don't know, some lady in the dream, and because she was just being annoying, I guess. And then somebody else got in a car accident and was knocked out, and then a third person was knocked out.
There's your food. Do you want it now? While you're eating?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'll get it. Thank you. Yeah, so like 3 people ended up being knocked out. What are you doing, Lightning? You're just enjoying the sunlight? Crazy. Thank you very much for the meal.
You're welcome. You want a glass of water, or milk, or Dr. Pepper, or Coke?
I got my water bottle thing right here. Thanks. So anyway, I went to this like really big hospital because there was 3 knocked out people that I had to stack up in my car. And I went there, I'm like,
Knocked out people?
yeah, I
Was
had...
it all because of the Michael Jackson house?
It was at the Michael Jackson house, I guess I don't know if it actually was his house, but it was just, you know. Yeah, and obviously this is like some other dimension that didn't make any sense, but...
Did you question it? Like, why did you buy Michael Jackson's childhood home?
No, I didn't. I just... No, because... I remember having a conversation, too, with the person that had it. And I'm like, yeah, I know that. You're right, it is his house, because I remember when we were younger, we went there...
When you're younger.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I remember, because we, like, hung out as kids there, because I think that he was my cousin or something, and I remember, like, yeah, I don't know, it was just some weird thing where Michael Jackson and I, when we were kids, hung out, like, both of us being kids, I guess, at the same age. It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
But, and then, like, there were these stones on the front yard, and they said, and, like, there were just a bunch of different random letters for, like, animals that were buried there. And then somebody had the idea, like, oh, if we rearrange the stones to say Michael Jackson, the house value will go up higher. I'm like, what? But I was, like, trying to think in the dream, and I'm like, actually, I think that's correct. I think you're right, actually. But I couldn't figure out, why it made sense to me.
I feel like it sounds right to me.
And then, what else was there? Yeah, then I had to go to the hospital and I said, like, I went up to the front desk just like I do, like, I've gone to the hospital a bunch of times. I'm like, hey, I was just wondering, do you have like 3 stretchers available that I can use real quick?
Oh, for the knocked out guys?
Yeah, and they're like, yeah, we have plenty of them, but why do you need 3? I'm like, oh yeah, there's 3 bodies in my car, and they're like, they just looked like very like morbidly scared,
Shit.
and
Like they had the wrong impression of why.
yeah, because all I said was I have 3 bodies in the car. I'm like, well, I didn't mean to say it like that. They're just all knocked out at the same time for different things. He got knocked out because he was in a car accident. She got knocked out because someone hit her in the head with a heavy pan. And then the third person, I don't remember why they got knocked out. And then I had to park in the hospital, like, thing, like a building. And then they're like, they said it's gonna be like $72. And I'm like, I'm not parking here at all. And then
72? Holy shit, for the hospital?
yeah,
God damn.
and then so I just went right.
I wouldn't have done that either. I'm not parking here.
So I just parked. I just took the car right where like the ambulances go, like right in the front, and I just took out the bodies. I literally just put them on the floor outside. And then the hospital people were really nice, and they picked him up really fast from the ground. And then the police came because I obviously said that they were bodies. And they're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. People around here get in car accidents a lot. I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Like, yeah, there's some...
completely misunderstanding you.
No, but yes, but their thing was like people weren't dying in car accidents. They would just be knocked out.
Oh.
And I'm like, well, what? And then I just didn't understand what was going on like half the time in the dream. Like being a person that lived in that dream or whatever, I didn't know.
You seem really misunderstood in your dream.
Yeah, and I was very just confused in the dream too. And then there was like, oh yeah, and then the person that got, because we were looking, I don't know who we is in the dream, but we were looking at the Michael Jackson house. Somebody got it or whatever, but then I think it was XQC actually ended up buying it. He bought it, like, he's like, just like, I'm gonna buy it right now, because he's doing like a vlog thing or something, bought it right then, and then changed all the stones around to increase the value. And he's like, and
Okay.
I'm like, how do you have the money here right now? And he's like, oh, well, I have a safety deposit box down the street where I keep like a little flash drive with money on it. And I'm like, what the fuck are you, what? And he's like, yeah, you should know about that because that's where I keep the one that's yours. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, of course I would have one for you. I'm like, what?
You have weird dreams, man.
And what else happened? Yeah, so the only other thing I can remember is the car accident that knocked out the one guy. We specifically were in the snow, and if you go in the snow, they said like the wheels will go faster. And I'm like, what? How does that? Okay. And then they were like, watch. And then we just zoomed through the snow on a long road and slammed into the car that was parked in front of the house. And
At the Michael Jackson house again?
yeah, and I had like some glass shrapnel in my arm that I like slowly pulled out. And then the other person was knocked out. And then the third guy was like, let me help you put these bodies in the car to go to the hospital. Such a weird, like, doesn't make any sense dream. And
Yeah, it's not necessarily a nightmare, but it sounds like a bunch of stressful situations. So maybe it is a nightmare in that way.
I mean, I feel fine. I don't feel like stressed out.
Even when you were pulling shrapnel out of your arm?
No, everything always felt like very calm, even though all that stuff probably sounded crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
woke up at 5 in the morning.
Nice.
And,
Thanks for the meal.
yeah, you're welcome. And then I like got up, and then I was like, holy shit. Oh yeah, because I woke up because I was like, this doesn't feel right. And then my whole right arm was like fucking like paralyzed. Like I couldn't move it.
You probably slept
I
on
slept on it, yeah.
Yeah.
But dude, the feeling was so weird because like my arm has never like fully fell asleep like that where it was completely dead. Like I could not fucking, it was like dead weight. What?
Okay.
What are you laughing about?
That's just funny.
Yeah, it was kind of scary. So I was like, I literally was like, oh man, that's like, what the fuck? So I go to the bathroom and then I was like, I was just barely moving my fingers like this. I was like, holy shit, I'm freaking out. Like twitching my fingers. I was like, am I ever gonna get feeling back in my arm? What the hell?
Yeah.
I thought about waking you up. I'm like, no, that's retarded. I'm not you sleeping?
I mean, feel free to wake me up whenever.
And then slowly I was like, oh, shit. Like pumping blood back into wherever I pinched it off at. There's nothing.
You're probably more used to like your leg falling asleep or your foot falling asleep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny.
Have you had that before though, where like your entire arm is like dead and you can't move it?
Yes.
I almost never happens to me. Like it was so bad it woke me up out of my sleep.
Oh, it woke you up? What?
Yeah, that's why I got up at 5.
Well, if it actually woke you out of your sleep, then yeah, that'd be scary.
Yeah, because I was like laying in bed, my whole left side's working, everything, all my other fucking, everything else works, was just like fucking dead. I was like, holy shit, oh my god.
Yeah, for a moment you were like convinced. You're like, your arm is done for.
I was like, they're gonna have to cut it off. No, I didn't think that, but I was like, holy shit. This
Yeah,
is
you're
worse.
probably worried, like, what the heck?
Yeah, some of that anxiety about stuff like that. So when I was like, my fucking arm is this numb, like this fucking unresponsive.
Yeah.
You know, it is kind of scary though, because I was trying my arm to like fucking close my hand, but it wouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the fact that like, you know how you have control over your nerves and stuff, it's just like, man, it's scary when you don't.
Yeah, that's kind of like what luckily it doesn't hurt or anything, but when my functioning doesn't work, it's hard to move at all. But the closest thing to that is like before, there's been like 3 times where the trichotillomania has gone like so crazy where I'm doing that in front of the bathroom, and I did it for like 2 hours just standing there before.
Is that scary being stuck in that like genjutsu where you're just doing that stuff?
Well, I mean, it's terrible, but what I was going to say is my legs have both gotten where they were like completely falling asleep, both of them at the same time, because I just stand there for that long.
Yeah.
And so I'd have to like put my hand underneath underneath it to move it. And I'm like worried that if I step and I can't feel it, like my leg could just snap.
Collapse or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had that where like both of them are falling asleep. I don't know if I've had it where my whole arm all the way up to my shoulders.
Yeah, I must have pinched something when I was sleeping because my arm fell asleep like that twice. The first time where it was like completely dead, like at 5 in the morning. The other time when I went back to sleep and woke up, and it was like a little asleep. But I was like, holy shit, man.
Wait, could you rephrase that?
Yeah, so do you think there is, I guess, yeah, so do you think there currently is, or do you think there will be medical, like crazy medical advancements and cures to um, a lot of stuff that are kept from the public so that they can, so companies and governments can profit off of people being sick and dying? Or do you think it's like for the good of humanity that people would, like that stuff would just be made available?
So you're asking like two things. One, is it already like that? And two, if it's not right now, will it be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's stuff like that that's already like that. Probably. It's just kind of what's the word? It sounds kind of like tinfoil hat
That's what I was
to
saying. Do
say
you
that
think
it's already.
Do you think that sounds like too much of a conspiracy, or do you think that's like a like a more probable than like improbable?
I think that it is more probable, and I think that it's probably already happening right now to a lesser extent, and then in the future, yeah, it's like just think about when I've had to go to the hospital and it's so expensive. Like these things would probably end up being so insanely expensive until they're not. Like a TV, like 4K TVs are like the price of how much 1080p TVs were before and stuff.
Yeah, and remember like 2000 fucking 12 or 13 when they're like, oh yeah, 4K.
Yeah.
You had to have like $8,000 to buy a 4K TV. That's like insane. Who would need a TV like that?
Yeah, and I think the same thing will go for different advancements. Like just I have a lot that I can talk about with my medical stuff, and it's not like, oh, I'm missing a limb or I have like cancer or anything. But I mean, I guess I could with my stomach since I don't know what's going on with my stomach. But my point is, having dealt with that stuff for the past like big time for the past 2 years and really like the past three, yes, you know how difficult it is for them to even figure out any of the shit that's going on with me right now?
Can they test for stomach cancer if that's what you're worried about?
Well, yeah, yes. But my point is to figure out like this energy thing, for example, we've been doing test after test after
All right,
test
so it's
for
just,
things.
is it just ruling things out but never finding out what it is or something?
Yeah. So it's like at a certain point, wouldn't anything that we're trying to like do medically just take like a ton of time to figure out? That's what I think. So it's like if they find if there's a thing that we can do to reverse aging, wouldn't it just either be thunder? I just feel like it'd be like a ton of hoops, you know?
Yeah.
And we wouldn't know right away. Yeah, it probably would be used by other people. Like, people
So,
thought, you know what people used to think? For example, that's kind of like the TV thing. People used to think that actors and actresses, mainly actors, had like perfect hair and like stuff like that, for example, right?
yeah, but they're all had hair implants and
Yeah,
they're taking drugs and stuff.
right. They've been doing the transplant stuff and taking the drugs forever. That was before people could start doing it.
Right, yeah, and people would look to celebrities as like idols, like, oh, they're better than us regular people. They
Right, but
just have
meanwhile, they
certain
just had,
privileges. Yeah,
yeah, they were able to do that stuff before it was like a mainstream thing here for
yeah.
like normal people. So I'm sure it'd be the same thing. You'd be like, what the heck? Why does that one celebrity look like the same age for
Yeah, I
30
was gonna
years?
say that. I was gonna say eventually it probably would become obvious that something like that's happening.
But I think by the time that it's actually obvious, then it'll start becoming like mainstream.
Oh,
So it'll be like, yeah, that guy, he's 70. How does he look like he's like 40 or whatever?
yeah.
But it's because his body actually is 40 or something like that. And I think what's most likely to happen is it will like not reverse aging, but it'll stop it. So that's like the thing that kind of is annoying to me is like as we get into like our prime time age of the 30s, if they don't figure that shit out soon, we're not going to be like stuck in our 30s. We'll be, you know what I mean? It'll be a lot older. So it's like, do you want to stay? I don't know. I think they'll figure out how to stop aging before they figure out how to reverse aging.
Right. So, well, yeah, I think you're right.
So by the time they figure out it could be 70, and we're like, do you want to stay 70 forever or just get old and die?
Well, what if we stay 70 forever, but it's not actually forever? We wait like we stay really fit 70-year-olds.
Yeah.
Take care of ourselves, and then 100 or 200 years later, they find the reverse aging stuff.
Yeah, and it might be not even like 100, 200 years. It could be just like 5 years.
Yeah, because
With
a lot of
just
science and medical and, well, especially technology, technologically, everything is like, I could be wrong, but it feels like exponential growth, where like as soon as it starts like
Yeah.
picking up, it's just gonna get faster and accelerate faster.
Yeah.
Something. But yeah, I don't know. That's why the AI stuff is kind of like exciting to me, because it's, I don't know. I probably had more of an optimistic look on it, when maybe I should have more of a, not pessimistic, but like balanced perspective. But I think the AI stuff is gonna lead to a lot of good. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's gonna lead to good stuff too. And I don't think there's any reason to think about it in like a negative way. We know like a bunch of different bad stuff that could happen from movies and just obvious things that could happen.
Oh wait, my mom's calling me. Let me take this call real quick.
Okay.
Hey, what up, Frost? This shit matters because they're fucking everyone over.
Here's the reason why nobody stands against it like you're saying, and nobody's doing the shit. You know why? Because it's set up to keep everybody in a little cage. Because think about it. Oh, why wouldn't just actual slavery happening, why wouldn't they stand up and go do that? There's a bunch of them, right? At the time, messed up, whatever. Why don't they just try to leave? Okay, because they get shot. They get killed. It takes a lot of like courage for them to have like be so strategic to get away, do like all the stuff that we know happened for people to like get out of the system that they were in. They get killed, their family gets hurt, the people around them get hurt. So like even if like somebody did escape, they're like kind of like choosing for everybody else to get hurt or killed. And so like same deal with us. It's kept that way. It's literally kept that way. So, why can't you do anything? Because you're so tired from work. Why can't you afford anything? Because you have to pay for your oil and your gas just to go to work, and your electricity, even though there used to be nuclear types that's already liquid that we could have had in our backyard, could have had electric cars before we were even born. The nuclear shit would have been way before we were born. It would have been like our grandparents' time. They don't want it to be. That's why like I understand when people say, oh yeah, nothing's gonna happen with AI. Their argument isn't like because of this crazy stuff that's already happened, like what we're watching and talking about. It's because of like some other reason. But I do think that we should be positive about AI. But like I understand when people say it's not gonna change anything, because they're probably worried about it becoming like sentient or so good to the point where people actually start understanding the stuff that has been kept from us forever, or ruining our lives. Can't get a house, can't get a car. Oh, your car breaks? Okay, well, you better have a friend that will let you like share the car so that you can actually get to work, because your boss isn't going to understand if you don't have work. They're going to be like, oh, you don't have a car? Okay, got to find somebody else. And then you can't eat. And then you can't like ever have a family because you can't already eat. And then you can't ever like be happy. So why would anybody stand up? It's because it's easier to sit on the couch.
You know what? That actually makes me think, though, at a certain point, there's a breaking point where you have so little left to lose that you'll do something like extremely radical.
I mean, that's just like, hopefully, people just need to have solidarity, man. I've said this for years.
If you like, especially like nowadays where people aren't getting married as much, and just like, you know, people just aren't having families as much. If someone who's like an adult man who's like aging, doesn't have shit, like broke as fuck, like homeless or whatever, has no family, and their life is miserable, what else do they have to lose? Like, I actually think there is like a psychological tipping point probably that people would like. I don't know what you do, but people might be violent or something. I don't know.
Well, I hope like the AI makes people more like have the ability to do stuff that they think is right so that we can have better things in our lives and we can actually be happy, because like I think it's actually pretty dang simple to have a good life. Like I've all, you know how I always say like I have everything that I want, friends, family, best pets, great relationships. I own all the things that I don't even have much, but because I'm so good and happy with like the type of person I am and the people around me, it's all you need. But what's the one thing that I have not figured out? Money. So why can I not get like, why is it so difficult to solve the last few things that I have, which are like medical stuff going on and being able to provide if I wanted to have a family, or do things with friends, not just sitting on the couch, but like go and experience things together and like go on an adventure or whatever. Because it's just, man, it's set up to where you want to get home because work is crap and you don't care about work because you don't get any incentive, you barely make any money, you don't have like a portion of you don't want your business to grow. It doesn't matter. Like if you had like maybe like 0.5 or 1% of the business or something like that, you had like a small amount to where you got dividends from it, from your business doing better, you would want to work better. But no, you don't get that. You just go to work, you have to pay for the gas to get to work, you have to get a vehicle that is good enough to get to work. You don't want to drive anywhere in the country because everything's so far, and then it could break your vehicle to get to work, and then you're like, how can I save money?
Yeah, since those are directly related, like you said, if your vehicle breaks and you can't afford to fix it, you're out of the
groceries are expensive.
You're out of making money.
Fast food used to be super cheap, but then people weren't having to make food all the time, so they got used to having fast food, and so a bunch of people don't know how to cook. So what are you supposed to do? You get fast food that's more expensive than a restaurant now, or you spend money at a restaurant and you pay a tip, and so like the restaurant is expensive. How are you supposed to pay for a $200 meal for your family? Oh, let's go get groceries. The groceries are expensive. So you're like, well, I don't know how to cook anything, but the AI does. Then you can cook a thing, but you're like, what do I buy without all this stuff going bad? Or what do I cook? Or what will everybody like? And then being able to afford your electricity and your heat and air. And you wanna buy a thing? You wanna buy a video game? Really? A $70 video game that you're gonna play for a second, you can't afford that. You can't afford that. Yeah. Oh, you want to go to see a movie and pay like $100 if you want to get popcorn? You see a movie past 5 o'clock and the movie is almost like $20 a person.
Yeah, and if you do want to have some sort of like dignity in your life, and you okay, well, I'll get those things just with a credit card. Now let's pay the credit card off.
Yeah.
Oh no, now you're fucked, buddy. Now
Yeah.
You're fucked.
Yeah, because now, oh, you couldn't make the payment because of whatever the reason is. Oh, but you're so used to like the company saying all you have to do is pay the smaller balance that you don't realize that there's like hidden things that happen.
Yeah.
And
everything's so fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Battery electric vehicles plug into an outlet at home. The infrastructure already exists at every human being's house, and then they want to do this other thing.
Right.
April 24th, 2003. Carnegie, Sacramento, California. Beautiful city.
I scratched my face a little bit too hard, and so I have a little piece of toilet paper with soap on it. I'm gonna put something on it after, but I'm trying to export and fix these. Just combine some of these older videos so I can just get them out, the non-linear ones. Just watching like random Naruto episodes and watched a couple other like YouTube videos and stuff earlier, but brushed the cats, and then I put warm water on my hands and like rubbed it throughout their hair and then brushed them again. They're super fluffy and nice. They're doing good. Thunder just got up and lightning is at the end of the hall. Oh, Thunder. I don't know why Thunder's right there. But now there's this running running filler episode of Naruto that's about to start. Not very good, but I like that the filler like shows how Naruto makes connections throughout like everywhere across the planet, like in all different countries and lands. Like the next one's gonna be in the land of teas, been in the land of noodles, been in the land of birds. Like there's a lot of different. I wish they would have tied in the not wish. I would not waste a wish on that, but it'd have been cool if they tied in the filler to be a part of, like, all of it makes sense for all the missions and all making all the connections and them all understanding like his mindset. He made like all these connections, but then it doesn't do anything once he becomes Hokage. It's crazy. Like, man, they missed out on a huge opportunity for the filler to make sense. Whatever. Waiting on one of these to export. I'm not sure what else I'm gonna do this evening. I should really Christmas Eve, so I should really like get things more organized over here. I'm gonna hang out with my mom and sister all day tomorrow. But otherwise, I'm feeling all right. I'm gonna drink a lot more water today, and not tomorrow, but the day after, I'm gonna be testing out this other medicine stuff at like a different what's it called? Different dosage. In the beginning of the year, we'll be doing the gastro, and then a neurologist, and then there's a bunch of different more and more specialists to go to. Feel super close to feeling really good, but let's see. Oh yeah, I don't really play games too much lately, but I heard that there's like a SpongeBob familiar, or SpongeBob's like a little pet in Fortnite, so I probably should get that. I don't have the money for it right now, but I should see how much it is, because that's really cool. There was something that I wanted to talk about, but I can't remember. Man, I can't remember what I was gonna say. I can't remember. I'm just now realizing that I filmed the beginning of this in landscape, horizontal, and then the other parts I did not, so that's a little bit annoying. I haven't done this in a long time, where I make a bowl of soup and just eat it straight from the pot, but I only made like a little bit onion soup. It sounded good. Sister gave me the stuff for it. I didn't buy onions the other day, I forgot. Cat's just hanging out.
I'm about to watch a shitty horror movie. I just kind of do that. Been doing that a lot lately, where I just will watch something on my own. I like to watch movies that are really bad, and then other times just watch ones that are supposed to be pretty good. But I've been kind of into watching just not good stuff, like movie wise, that are just kind of funny bad, or just bad because like the concept is good but then the characters are terrible or just not smart or whatever. Yeah, decent day. Did not achieve anything, but I did record, so that's an achievement on its own. Made some soup, that's good. It's pretty good. Would have liked to have full onions in it, but that's okay. There's like some pieces. Not bad. I will record at some point tomorrow. I'm not quite sure when. As I'll be hanging out with my mom and my sister, but I'll figure out a time to do it. And yeah, I'm not gonna let myself stop doing the daily upload thing. Probably only have like 10 more non-linear. I think there's gonna be 20 or less of them if I had to take a guess. They're stupid and bad and pointless, but so are all of the videos, even the normal vlogs like this one. I just have to upload what I did so I can feel accomplished for trying in the past, and just rewatch them here and there to learn from it. Nothing is catching right now, and that's perfectly fine because I have to make them better anyway. But I think like kind of just putting together parts of videos, I don't know how much, if I like how much they're just like stop then go then stop like type thing, where they're kind of just choppy. I did say chop them up, but it's probably a little bit better of an idea to make them flow a little bit more. And so I'll just be learning from them for now, and then once I'm able to do like each time, it should be like a little bit better to me, with what I like that I'm doing with it. That's the plan, at least. The plan is like, yeah, just make them a little bit better. I don't know. Even if it's just changing a thumbnail, or if I try to do a different title style. I'm sure the thumbnail and the title styling is like extremely important. It's not really that important to me. Like, I kind of just want them to be plain, but that might not work at all, so we'll see if I decide to change it or try some different things. I have a lot of things that I can do with it. Somehow the days just go by without much happening. I have to be happy about the little things I do. Making dinner, showering, making the cats feel well fed and brushed and loved and everything. So nothing bad. Of course, every day is difficult for different reasons.
And I know I've said this almost every video, but I'll go more into detail about everything over time that I'm talking about. But for now, bad lighting and whatever audio and jump and what's the word, like just slice together. That's what the videos are gonna be for right now. Not a bad day. Just another day. Not sure if I'll add another part to this, but if I do, then I'll see you there. If not, then I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, so I'm recording immediately. Good thing I'm in landscape mode again. Yeah, I wanted to kind of show my thought process on this show thing that I want to do, where I want to just sit down with the show for a second. Let me see. I'm just gonna mute it so I don't have any issues with anything. But dang, I just realized that I have the camera on the wrong way. Give me a second. I'm also just realizing I'm recording again. This is going to be an interesting one with a bunch of different cuts to it. But it's good, like I said, any of this stuff is good to just be able to watch back and kind of learn from. Realize now I don't know if that I can even have a clip of that at all running. We'll have to see, test it out. It might just completely get rid of it immediately. And then also the movie that I had lined up, just, of course, if you leave an app or whatever, it goes away. So that's annoying. But that's why I like to just use my computer for that stuff. But I don't have my computer set up. Been just having a rough time doing other stuff that I need to do. But anyway, yeah, kind of just wanted to talk about that for a second.